Hello everyone, can you just confirm like you can hear me and if you are able to see my screen, you can use your chat option to reply me. Okay, 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 perfect. So let's start. So if anyone has any doubt from the first demo class, if you have, you can ask me now. If not, then I will continue for the next topics. Srinivas, have you registered for the first demo class? So have you attended the yesterday session? Then yes, and what is the confusion here? Okay, so let's get started for today. So we have seen the meaning of API and how actually for what purpose we get the APIs and for what purpose developers design some APIs, right? Because as in short definition, we can say that an API is a way to establish a connection between two systems or two applications in either one way or both the ways. Okay, so let's see some examples, some demo examples. Okay, so what I'll do, I will open another browser and there's something called RESTful Booker. Okay, so if you would have remember in yesterday's session when I was creating a Gmail account and when I was trying to give some username and in network calls we saw that there's one API called made. So let me do that thing again. So let me open Gmail and let me go and create and click on create an account. Let me inspect it and we'll see one network tab here. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll simply type one username. Okay. And as soon as I get the cursor away from this particular text box, one call will be made. We see name, right? Actually, this is an API. An API was called to check whether this particular username entered by user is taken or not. Okay, that's why we see this. This is called API. Okay, this is called API, and let me copy this copy link address. Okay, and let me open it here. Let me increase the font size. So I think how can increase the font size here? Edit. Control num plus. I think this font size you can view it easily. Okay, so we see something here. If you see the name here, we see wave username availability. Okay, This is actually one API here. We can call this as an API, which is responsible to a specific task, and the task is to check whatever username has been entered by the user is available or not. Okay. Similarly, if I go to this website which I was opened previously, that is called RESTful Booker, and if you go for API docs here, okay, so here we can see some API listed here. Okay, so like if you see create booking, okay, so generally RESTful book this particular website contains some API which helps you to book a hotel. Okay, so if you see here by name you can understand it is create booking. Okay, means suppose if you are, yeah, if on UI you see a page where you need to fill up the details so that you can book the ticket, right? Internally, when you fill the details and enter, internally this API will be called with the data whatever you have passed. Okay, so this is actually backend process. This is called API, which is responsible to do something for you, something specific for you. Okay, when I go and create, right, when I click, so let me put some name, everything fine. Let me put some random name, and let me put some junk here. Okay, and I'm simply putting some name. Okay, so just see here. Okay, as soon as you click on next, right? Okay, as soon as you click on next, okay, there are so many APIs called happen, right? Because only there possibility like whatever action you need to perform, it will not be performed by one API, or there might be multiple calls. Okay, some API will do some specific task, some API will do some different tasks. So that's why you can see all the calls made here. Okay, and if you see this account, okay, let me copy this URL also, copy link at this, and if I put it here, okay, can you see here? It's the name is like web username availability, right? And this is like account details. Okay, because when I enter some username which is available already, so means whatever data I'm passing that is correct. So it calls some different API. Okay, because this some whatever data I'm passing that is correct. So call the API which will responsible to create an account. Okay, so this is the way API looks like, and whatever actions we perform on UI, at the back end some API will be called. Okay, so API will looks like this one. Okay, so we'll come back again to this particular like what is this URL and all everything. We'll discuss these things again, but let's do some basics homework again. So like suppose if you are from Selenium background, okay, so if I want to perform click on a button or click on a anything, right? So we have a method called click. Okay. If you want to type something in the text box, we have method send keys, right? If you want to switch to a frame or switch to a window, we have a method, right? So these are generally keywords which says that or which is made to do a specific task. Okay. Similarly, in API's case also, every API will be responsible to perform some specific task, right? Some API here, if you see here, this create booking, it will create a booking, create a hotel booking for you. If you want to update that booking, suppose if you want to change the check-in and check-out date, that means you want to make some update to existing booked thing, correct? So that means you want to update. There's something called partial update. Okay, if you want to update some one or two fields, okay, or maybe you want to update only the names, okay, then we have something called delete booking. Means if you want to delete the booking, okay, so one API will be responsible to perform some specific task, okay, and In API, whatever task they will perform or what type of call they will make, that is generally called as HTTP verbs. Okay, what is called HTTP verbs. I'm getting some questions, so let me see what questions are there. Okay, let me increase the font size. I think it should be good now. Can you confirm, Nawaz, if it is good? And Wilf, I don't know which screen you are talking about here. Okay. So there's something called HTTP verbs which decide like what type of action it will perform. Okay. So suppose, okay. So um, okay. Let me open Paint. Okay. So what I'm saying is suppose there is Facebook, right? So this is a Facebook UI. Okay, where you see the username and password, whatever we see here. Or let me open the Facebook homepage. Okay, so this is the Facebook UI and where you can log in and sign up, right? Suppose when you are new to Facebook and first time you are seeing this Facebook page and you go and click on create new account, right? You fill up all the details and all, right? What happens when you create an account? Facebook database will have your details, right? That this particular user is registered with Facebook. Okay, and from the next time you no need to create an account again because you have already created and you can use the same username and password whatever you have entered while creating the account. Okay, means Facebook has your data. Facebook has some data yours. If someone new comes, right, so their data will also be saved. Okay, all this data is generally called resources. Okay, which are available on server of Facebook. Okay, resources are available. Okay, same thing here. Suppose when you are adding a resource, okay, means you are creating new. Okay, addition, that is called post. Okay, whenever you are creating a new resource or there is addition of new resource, okay, that API is generally called as post APIs. Okay, means why post? Because that particular API is responsible to create a new resource. Creation means post. Okay, once uh, what example I just gave you, once you create an account, next time you don't need to recreate again, right? What you need to do, you just need to give username and password. Okay, and if you have already registered, then Facebook will show you home page. Otherwise, Facebook will show you error message. Correct. So how Facebook is getting that one? If I enter some username and password here, okay, if I suppose enter some username and password here, so Facebook will do a get call. Okay, or Facebook will call one API which will check whether this user or this email ID and password is registered with our Facebook server or not. If yes, then return the home page. Otherwise, return me the error message. Okay. So if any API which is responsible to get the information of a existing resource, that is called get. So retrieve retrieve resource. Okay, that is called get. Okay, you getting creating an account on Facebook, that is a post API call. When you log in again with the same credentials, that will be a get call. Okay, suppose you have created your account successfully, and we are very fond to change our profile pic, right? So means you are updating some data. Okay, you are updating some data. Okay, your resources are already there, and you are making some changes. Okay, when you are sending a friend request, or you are removing someone from your friend list, when you are uploading a photo, means you are means something, you are doing some update kind of thing, right? So that is called updating resource. Okay, so that can be represented as put and patch. Okay, what is difference between put and patch, I will explain later, but yeah, both things can be that those APIs can be categorized as put or patch. Okay, and now suppose you are fed up with Facebook because there are so many notifications and it is not like you are not studying or properly working, right? So what you decided that you delete your Facebook account. Okay, means you are deleting your resource, deleting some resource. Okay, once you delete your account, Facebook server will not have data ideally. I don't know how, whether they are saving your data or not, but if you have deleted your account, then uh, the resource information will not be there. Okay, that is called delete resource. Okay, and that is represented as delete APIs. Okay, so what terms we got? Post, uh, get, put, and delete. Okay, and combinedly this is called as CRUD. Okay, create, retrieve, update, and delete. Okay, this is a very basic question. It's asked to a guy who says that they have worked on API testing for 1 year or 2 year. Okay, so they might ask you what is CRUD operations. Okay, these are generally called CRUD operations. Okay, so the full form of CRUD is create, retrieve, update, and delete. Okay, and this particular operation says that an API can be categorized into this type of stative verbs. Okay, if an API is creating any resource, that API should be a post HTTP operation. Okay. Similarly, if API is responsible to retrieve some data, that should be a get API. If you are updating that data, then it should be put or patch. Or if you're deleting the resource, then it should be a delete HTTP method. Okay. So this is the basic of HTTP verbs and how the API will be categorized. Okay. Any question in this? Rakesh is asking, can you create new resource using put? Okay, so actually that depends upon how API is developed, right? So means suppose you're trying to update some data, okay, and server finds that this particular record is not available. Then server then if API is made or API is developed in such a way that if the data is not available, then you can go and create the resource as well. Okay, but that depends upon the API development. In many interview or many guides says that input, if the resource is not available, then it will create the resource as well. No, it will create the resource only if the API is developed in such a way. Okay, so let me give you an example here. So suppose this is a put request, okay, and this is response to update some data, okay, like suppose update a booking, okay, update a booking, okay. So generally in put request, what is the main thing, like in put request you need to send the complete payload, okay, means whatever data you are sending while creating a booking, same payload you need to sending input also. That's why developers had two choice. Developer has two options, okay. First option, if booking is found, then update it, okay. Second, if booking is not found, then they have two options, okay. So error message that booking is not available, okay. Or another thing, create a booking for them, okay. But this again, create a booking for them is not a good option always, right? Because suppose I don't want to get a booking. So it will simply waste of time and effort as well. Okay. So this depends completely on the API. Okay. If the API is developed in such a way that if the resource is not found, then to create a new resource, then it will work. But not all the put will create any resource. Okay. So this I have not discussed about the error codes as of now, so we'll cover that topic. Okay, we need to go from the basic, not directly jump to some error codes and some other things. I will cover those topics. Okay. Any other questions? What is difference between post and put? So I think I have explained well here. There should not be any confusion. What is difference between post and put? I have given you the real-time example as well. Post is when you are adding a new resource, right? Or means you whenever you are creating a new account on Facebook. So that means you are adding a new resource on Facebook server. So that will be a post call. Put is to update that resource. Okay. Put is if you want to update some detail, then we can use the put API. Okay. And also if your API is developed in such a way that if the resource is not available, then it can create also. So that can be done using put. Okay. Okay. So another question like who develops API? So API is developed by the developers only. Okay. And as a tester will test that API, that whether whatever API is intended to work, okay, that way it is working or not. Okay. So API testing nothing like something special. If in UI, if suppose this is my Facebook page, right? Facebook account, and if I give some abc@gmail.com and give some wrong password, right? Something. So I get some error message, right? I get some error message. So this is the like UI functionality. That means if the user is entering the correct credential, get the user at home page. If user entering some wrong credential, then show the error message. Right? These are our functionalities. Similarly, while testing API, also we will have some functionality like this API is responsible to do this particular operations and how it behaves in this type of scenarios. Those things we need to test. Okay, so that I will cover, like what we need to cover in API testing. Those things I will cover. Don't worry. Okay. Raj is asking, so the entire API will be based on only these verbs. Okay. So there's around 7 to 8 verbs are defined. Okay. Like we have something head, we have some options. Okay. So yeah, every API can be categorized using these options. I will show you. There are so many STD verbs are available in Postman. When I will show you the Postman demo, there we can show you that there are so many verbs actually. But maximum APIs are categorized within these whatever current verbs I said in that. Any other questions? Who will give the API details? Yeah, I will share these things like how to start the API testing and all. So means suppose, let me explain you this question again because this is good one. Like suppose, leave the API. Suppose you are testing some web-based application. Okay. So before testing that application, you need some information or some requirement details, right? Requirement details means what is expected to client. Okay, suppose if you are developing Facebook, then you will have some requirements, right? That you should able to send a friend request, you should able to retrieve some photo, you should able to upload image, you should able to post something, right? So these things are requirement. We get those requirements and then we test those things, correct? Same thing happens in API also. So we generally get the API documentation. That API documentation says that this API should do this type of things. Okay, and that things we need to test. Okay, so I will explain that thing when I will start the API testing in real. Then I will show you that how what are things we need to cover. Okay, put, get, post, delete are race assured static verbs or will can you complete your question? Okay, resource mean what? Resource mean data. Okay, resource is nothing but data. Okay, anything like you are a resource to a company, right? You are working in a company, then your data will be saved with the company, right? So you are a resource. When I create a new Facebook account on Facebook account, Facebook server will have my data as a resource there. Okay, resource means data. Wilf is asking, wait, there's so many questions are coming in. So why do we use why do you use the developer to perform put and not the tester? So Leslie, I didn't get your question actually. I can unmute you if you want to speak up. I didn't get your question actually. And Wilf is asking, put, get, post, delete are race assured STD verbs or postman STD verbs? See, this is not related to postman or race assured thing. These are not common STD verbs. HTTP is a protocol, right? Which is which helps you to communicate over internet. Okay, so these things are related to that. Okay, if tomorrow something new technology comes, right, they also need to follow the same verbs. Okay, it's not specific to postman or recessive, no. Okay, it's not like that. Partik is asking what is the use of option, so we'll cover. Okay, we'll cover that one. General option used to know that what are the allowed methods are there for the API. Okay, because I have a good plan from start from scratch. Okay, because I don't want to jump to some topics from here and there. I will cover everything from basics. So these are the stative verbs which this says that how can we categorize our APIs. Okay, and yes, API requires internet. Okay, okay means because when we are accessing the Facebook, right, and if I give the username and password, or suppose simple thing, you cannot access your Facebook home page without internet, right? Because this API works on internet or network. Okay, okay, fine. So I think it will be good. And if you have any other questions, so we can discuss later. Okay, so we have seen some example APIs, we have seen static verbs, and let me explain one very important concept that is called format. Okay, so what is called format actually? Okay, uh, okay, so suppose you are executing your Selenium scripts, right? And you run 100 test cases, or you get some result like around 70% fast and 30% failed, right? So generally we send the report to client, okay? Something which will be easily understandable by anyone, okay? Because why? Because that is format, correct? Suppose if you want to send a letter to someone and you go to post office, okay? We have some format there where you need to write the to address and where you need to write from address, okay? What is the use of these formats? These formats actually helps people to understand something clearly, okay? If you follow the some best practices while writing coding, so if you go to some industry, even I also focus more on format. Like suppose if you're creating any page class, so start the class name with the page or ends with the page, okay? Or um, let me give another examples. Like suppose there are so many buttons on a UI page, right? So generally, how we should nomenclature those web elements? Like if it is a button, they start btn close. If it is button exit, btn exit. Okay. Suppose a text box, use txt box first name. Okay. If it is a link, use lnk create. Okay. And then suppose if it is a table row, okay, then we can use row some data, okay. So these things, this prefix, right, btn or txt or lnk, it 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 is in some format, okay. Suppose if you want to filter only all the buttons available, then you give the class name dot btn, you will get only the button filtered, right? It will be help you to get those web elements quickly, right? There's no need to go and search from thousands of or hundred of lists. No, you are following one format, and using that format you can easily filter it out, okay. Same thing in REST APIs. In the API things also, there's something called common format. And in yesterday class, I have said you that suppose Yatra is developed using Python, okay, but Indigo have developed their API using Java, okay. So how is Java application is communicating with Python application? Okay, that is because they follow one common format, okay. That common format in API terms we have like in which format they need to send the data and retrieve the data. Okay, if you see this example, if you see this example, RESTful booker which is responsible to create a booking. Okay, this data, right? This is called generally called JSON data. If you want to book something, if you want to add a resource, you need to pass the details, right? Simple thing. If you want to create a booking, they will ask you what your name, what is your check-in and check-out date, what are the facilities you need, right? Those things they will ask for it, right? So this thing you need to pass this data, and this data will be created in a format. That format can be understandable by any programming language. That's why we use JSON and XML, okay, which are widely used in in real time. JSON is mostly used because JSON data can be utilized, consumed, or passed, okay, by any programming language. It helps you to follow a common format here, okay. So this is the thing. When you pass the data something in this format, you'll get the response. Response means you are getting some result, right? If you are creating a booking, then you'll get okay, your booking is successful. That data you'll get in a format that is also understood by anyone. This is the meaning of common format, okay. And that's why API makes it possible to communicate two applications which have been developed using some different tools or technology in easy manner because they follow a common pattern. Okay, so this is the meaning of common pattern here. Okay, I hope this should be good. We'll cover more things what is JSON and what I think, but as of now you can understand whatever you see this as a key value format, like first name something Jim, last name Brown, right? So this is generally called JSON data. Okay, let me give you one real time example. Excel, right? Excel can be used in any programming language, like in Java, Python, whatever you are using, you can read the Excel in that programming language, right? So Excel can be a common format, okay, which can be understood by anyone. Similarly, here also API also give you follow a common format which helps to communicate easily. Okay, I hope it should be good. Okay, so we'll be asking what is race assured. So I have not touched the race assured as of now, so don't confuse with that. Okay, and whenever we are asking, can we say these STD verbs are play the vital role for communication between client and server? See, API generally that only client server architecture they follow. Someone is requesting some data or someone wants to perform some action from client, okay, to the server. So that I will explain what is client server architecture, and that is very common terminology. So yeah, but HTTP verb just helps you to categorize your APIs. Okay. Kavita is asking, you mean to say API use a format that any application that use it can be understand? Yes, means if I understand the correct questions correctly, that means there should be common format which can be understood by any technology. That is the main funda here. Okay. Okay, fine. So, so what is JSON? Yes, I will cover those things. Now I'm not. I'm just giving you some overview. So don't confuse it again. Everything will be covered. Okay. But I am just giving you some hints or some words so that you will keep in those things in mind. Okay. So let's go to the next topic, and it is called API design models. Okay. So now suppose you join a new project and that project asks you need to automate, okay, this UI based application, right? So do you have only one option to automate UI? No, you have Selenium, you have Protractor, you have Cypress, you have so many tools. Similarly, if you want to develop API, so they have different design models, okay? And two design models are famous, that's called SOAP and REST. Okay, SOAP, the full form of SOAP is Simple Object Access Protocol. Didn't understand. I also didn't understand what is Simple Object Access Protocol. Let's wait. Another is called REST, representational state transfer. Okay, we all didn't get the meaning of it. Okay, let it be. But as of now, we know that there are two design models which can be used to develop the APIs. One is SOAP and one is REST. Okay. As of now, you can understand one UI based application can be automated using Protector and Cypress. Okay, as of now, you can relate with this only. Let's go to next topic. So let's understand some basics of SOAP. Okay, which is called Simple Object Access Protocol. Okay, so okay, uh, here if I show you this thing here, Facebook page, right? When I was creating an account. So what we did, we actually passed some data, right? We gave our username and password or something age and all. I think this they asked, right? Create new account, first name, surname, mobile number, new password, date of birth, and gender. Okay, we provided these data, right? So what you understand, these data should be should pass to server, then only they can operate it, right? Or let me give you some example, like to perform UI automation, generally we pass the data from Excel sheet or a JSON file. Okay. From Excel sheet, whatever data we pass, that will be fed to our code, then code will work on that. Correct? Same thing here. When you are creating a Facebook account, okay, we pass some data. These data will be wrapped. These data will be wrapped and it will sent to Facebook server to create an account. Okay. Same thing here. SOAP is saying that it is a protocol. Okay, protocol means set of rules. Okay, it is a protocol which specifies that how the information will be exchanged from between client and server in a structured format. Okay, means suppose you order something from Amazon, right? So what Amazon will do, whatever product you order, they will put into a wrapper, right? And then they will deliver to you. If they simply bring the project as it is, then everyone can see and it will be like less secure. Same thing here, whatever data you entered, that will be structured in a format and then that will send to the server. Okay, and same thing, when the server will return some data that will come to client, that will be also some structured format. Okay, and that happens on HTTP, means network or internet. Okay, so in simple term, SOAP is a protocol, okay, which specifies that how the communication between client and server will happen in a structured format. Okay, supports post and get as HTTP methods. So the bigger drawback of SOAP is that it only supports two HTTP methods, that is called post and get. The HTTP methods or HTTP verbs all are same. Okay, all are same. So don't confuse with that. Both are two different terms. No, but SOAP only supports post and get. Okay. Third one, it supports only the XML message format. Okay, means I just said that we follow a common format, right? They need to follow some format which can be understood by any programming language. But SOAP has this restriction that they understand they can parse only XML. Okay, I will show you some example of XML, but yeah, this supports only XML. So just to show you how XML looks like, if you see here, this is JSON. Okay, this is called JSON. Okay, and this is XML. You can, if you remember the XPath, right? What is the full form XPath? That is XML path. Okay, this is XML. This is XML actually. Okay, it also have the data. Here we have some opening tag and closing tag. Okay, and data we have between this one, what do you call that? Between the opening and closing tags. Here in JSON, we have something as a key value format. Okay, and this is more readable compared to XML. That's why JSON is mostly used. Okay, let's go to another point. Okay, allows client to invoke web services and receive response independent of language and platforms. I have explained already. Because a common messaging format, it makes you independent, that there's no need of uh, there's no need to dependent on the technology whatever you have used. Two different applications which has been developed with some different technologies, they can also communicate because they follow a common format. Okay, Java is Java is a platform independent language. Okay, why it is platform independent? Because we have a dot class file, generates a dot class file after compilation. JDK is platform dependent. Whenever you are going to install JDK in your system, you need to install based on the operating system you have. But when you compile a Java file, you get a dot class file, and that dot class file can be executed in any platform. That's way it makes Java as a platform independent programming language. Okay, same thing here because SOAP supports XML and XML can be understandable by any technology. That's why it makes you uh, don't bother about the language or platform used by the applications. Okay, it can support other protocols such as SMTP, TCP, UDP. So in networking, we must have heard about the protocols, right? Protocol is something set of rules. Okay, what is called set of rules? Like suppose if you want to apply for a voter ID card, right? There are some rules that you should be 18 plus. Okay, you should be a citizen of that country. So we have some rules, right? So these protocols also research some set of rules. Okay, and the mature and secure protocol SOAP is highly secured. And if you see, if you go for any banking projects and all, so they mostly use SOAP because SOAP is more secure compared to REST. Okay. And the last one, usage are declined. Why usage are declined? Because it is complex. Okay. SOAP is complex and it supports only some static method like post and get. And in real time, you everywhere you see post. If you want to create a record, post. If sorry, if you want to retrieve the data, post. If you want to delete the data, post. If you want to do anything, everything is post only. Okay. So that's why because this is complex and it requires a lot of time to develop also API using so that's why the usage are declined. Okay. Any questions in this? Because this is again interview question, they will ask what is SOAP. So you should able to explain these points. What is SOAP? Okay. We'll see the difference in some time. But yeah, you should be clear with this SOAP. What is SOAP? Okay. Rahul is asking get and post to be used in PHP. That is same as here. See, you don't use get and post in PHP or some programming language. That is nothing. You will have some APIs, right? That will you get or post. There's nothing called specific to PHP or something. You'll get different something. No, this API can be used, can be conjured by any other programming language. Okay. So Kavita is asking which is mostly used. So whatever generally in the recent times, they have confirmed like around 73% APIs are being developed by West. Okay. Pratik is asking other than get for every operation, it is go for post. In SOAP, generally all the operations are all the APIs they have HTTP has the HTTP verbs at post only. Yes, in SOAP they have. If post and get only used what there will be used to update resource and delete resource in SOAP. Actually, SOAP is the older technology, and in that time there were only two verbs, post and get. Okay, there was like nothing like you should have some delete verbs or put or patch. So whatever operation they want to perform, they used to have API which supports post request. Okay, like that it was. Okay, that was the older technology that time. Kavita is asking why REST is more popular than SOAP. I have explained just now that what are the drawbacks of SOAP here. That it supports some limited static verbs, that it supports only XML, that it is like more complex to develop. Okay. Rahul is asking get and post hold some data. I didn't get your question. What is get and post hold some data? Is SOAP still using for API testing? See, SOAP is something which you can use to develop. Okay. And to test the SOAP API, we have different tools. Okay, so don't confuse with the SOAP. SOAP is here only to develop some APIs. If you want to test some SOAP API, then you have SOAP UI. You can use the Postman also. Okay, like that you can test. Okay, so SOAP is a design model here. Okay, using that API can be developed. Just I have given you relation also, like UI automation using Selenium or Protector. Both you can do, right? Same thing. In API, when you get the requirement to develop an API, you can use SOAP or REST. Okay. If SOAP more than secure than REST, if so, why? But see, SOAP is more secure because they have some different mechanism inside. Okay, and there are some many set of rules. Like we just say some strict rules, right? Like suppose if you apply for some visa for a country, so for some country you get the visa easily, right? But for some other countries you'll not get the visa easily, right? Because they have some strict rules. Same thing here in SOAP, they have so many strict rules. Okay, they have some better security implementation, right? That's why SOAP is more secure, and because of this only it becomes more complex. Okay, but whatever you see banking applications, okay, many banking applications has a SOAP API only because they need to invest more on security. They want to keep the data more secure, right? That's why they use the SOAP. Okay, so let's go to another topic now. SOAP is generally slower than REST also. Okay, SOAP is not that much faster. Okay, so there's some terminologies used in SOAP. Okay, so before I read through all this definition and what, let me show you some example. Let me know if you can see my screen well, or if I need to. This is document that is to visual. Okay, what is visual that you will get to know now. Okay, this is called visitor and this generally is SOAP API. Okay, so if you come down, and we have something called operations here, right? Operations. Can you see? We have some operation name subtract, then we have multiply, we have add, then we have divide. Okay, and if I expand it, it has something input and output, right? We have some subtract equation, subtract response, everything we have something here, right? So whatever APIs are developed using SOAP, they provide one digital document. Okay, we have SRS. Okay, software requirement specification. What is the meaning of that SRS? Okay, or we get the story files. Okay, feature files, right? Those means they say that about the requirement. Similarly, Visitor is also one documentation which says that what are the operations are supported by these things. Okay, so this is a calculator Visitor. Okay, I will I will show you one demo how to pass the Visitor and all. But yeah, now we have one calculator SOAP APIs. Okay, and they provided one Visitor, and that Visitor lists out all the operations supported by it. If you see here, RESTful Booker API, here we have operations like get booking IDs, get booking, create booking, update booking. These are the operations, right? Here we get it individually, but in SOAP we get as Visitor, and we see the all the operations here. Okay, this is for subtract, this is for multiply, this is just for add and divide. So this is called Visitor actually, and this terminology is used for SOAP with respect to SOAP. Okay, so that's I've written. The full form which there is web service description language. Okay, web service description. Web service can be replaced API. Okay, API description language means what API is performing for you. Okay, or what for which thing API responsible to do. That is mentioned in WSDL. Okay, and if you read the definition here, the web service description language means WSDL is an XML based interface description language that is used for describing the functionality offered by a web service. Okay, this is an XML document. We see the tags, right? And you can see on the top also. Okay, this is the XML based documentation which gives you information about the APIs. Okay, then another called UDDI, Universal Description Discovery Integration. Good name and good full form also. So let me make it simpler. You have heard of Maven, right? Or leave the Maven. Mhm. Okay. So suppose we see crickets, right, or football. Okay. So they are players, right, who play. So their data will be stored somewhere, right? If their new players join, their data will be stored in some place. Similarly, whenever they are describing the digital, right, or whatever web services they have developed, so they need to uh, register themselves somewhere, right? Okay, a registry. Okay, so there's something there is something called registry where you can what do you call that? You can register yourself there. Okay, for the internet. If you see the definition here, an XML based registry for business worldwide to list themselves on the internet. Okay, okay, I got one better example. Google Play Store. You developed your app. Okay, you are very good Android developer or iOS developer. You developed your app, but how others will use it? You'll not send the APK file to everyone, right? What you'll do, you go and upload, means first you have to register and upload your app to the Google Play Store or App Store for iOS. And from there, people can easily download and install it. Same thing, you did it for you. Okay? Any doubt in this? Well, if he's asking SOAP is a middleware, okay, SOAP is not a middleware. SOAP is a way to develop. It says that how can you develop an API, okay, and whatever you develop, that is middleware. Okay, SOAP itself not as a middleware. Okay, and Daniel is asking what is okay WSM action. So you see that here, right? See, this the operation name is subtract, right? And it says that for the input and output there will be endpoints. Okay, this is the URL. Okay, let me open into new tab. It looks like a URL. If I copy and let me open into a new one. Okay, something I'm getting, but yeah, this is like endpoints, like for the input and output where you need to go. Okay, like when you execute a program, right? You input from somewhere, like you can input from your command prompt or you from wherever you want to, and in the console we see the output. Same thing, it is pointing where the input and where the output is there. Okay, because this is based on internet. Okay, that's why it is showing you here. Okay, so that is the input and output. Input and output, nothing, it is request and this is response. Okay, in this generally we use request and response. Here in Visual that is input and output. Okay, and okay, that's again so many questions. Do we need to register this REST API as well somewhere? Uh, See, actually APIs will be on internet only, correct? So, like for, if you want to use Facebook, or you suppose you create a new this one website, then you host it somewhere, right? Similarly, when those particular API is available on internet, right? So anyone you can access it from anywhere. Okay, so those things are not there in SOAP REST actually. It should be internet. It should be available on internet. Are we using any commands for executing the script? Which script? I have not showed you any script here. SOAP is a protocol written in visitor format. Uh, See, visitor is not a something. See, when you develop some API by following SOAP design pattern, then whatever API you have developed, that you need to let other people know that these are the we have developed these APIs, and those API description you need to give in visitor. Okay. Okay, so if SOAP is more secure, then why they don't use the SOAP? Okay, why many people are using Selenium? Why they are not using some paid tools like test projects and what do you call? There's so many good tools like Cypress is also not, if you go for paid one, right? And if you go for the reporting, extend report, many people use the free version, not the paid version. Everything, everything. If you think many things are decided based on the budget, right? If something is available free, then why they will go and use some different one or pay? They will pay for extra. Okay, like if you see QTP, that is much better tool than Selenium, right? But still people are using Selenium. Why? Because it is free tool. Okay, and that upon what is your priority? If suppose if your API you want to develop more secure, then go for SOAP. If you have money, you have budget, and you have resource, you can go. Okay, so that is completely choice of people or client what they want to use. Okay, but yeah, this SOAP usage is declined now, and many people are opting for REST. Yes, see, Jason, Dan is asking why Jason. Jason is very lightweight actually. And you can see, just I showed you JSON XML both. You can see JSON has more durability than XML. And it is called as lightweight because it can be parsed and can be easily consumed. Okay. So, and performance also matters. Okay. So, because JSON is lightweight thing, so that it will process something faster compared to XML or other format and all. Okay. So yeah, I will take another questions after some time because there's so many questions are coming up. Yes, Pragya is asking, did I makes your API available on internet? Yes, it will be something registry. You need to register there. Okay, your API needs to be registered there. Okay, or if you remember the Maven, right? From Maven, we generally copy the dependency and we use in our project. Okay, but there are many companies, though they have their private Maven depot. Okay, and whatever project they have developed, that will be in their Maven depot. That will not available for all the publics. Okay, so that depends. Like if you want to make your API available to everyone, or you want to make your API available only to paid person, or only to limited people. Okay, for REST API, there's some other REST. No, there's nothing, anything REST. It should be available on internet itself. Okay, so let's go for next topic. So you can just read out some more about the soap and all, but the basic is that, and I've explained with the uh, examples as well, so you'll remember. So if you remember, read more, then you'll get more info about this. Okay. But yeah, that is more than enough to know about the SOAP. Okay, so someone asked like, how can we use the SOAP for testing the SOAP API? So SOAP is a design model which can be used to develop a API, right? But if you want to test, there are so many tools available. Okay, out one tool is the SOAP UI. Okay, it is again both paid and free tool, and but this can be used to test SOAP APIs. Okay, and I will show you one demo as well. Okay, maybe next class I'll show you a demo also, like how can you test a SOAP API using SOAP UI. Okay, so SOAP UI is again one paid tool. Okay, and it has some open versions also, and SOAP UI Pro is the paid, and it supports testing for both SOAP API and REST APIs. Okay, so you can see we can perform functional testing, load testing, compliance testing. There's so many things are available in SOAP UI. But again, this is paid, not all the features are free. So usage are not that much. But yeah, but still this tool is in market, and this is really, there's so many user base, huge user base for SOAP UI as well. Okay. So now let's come to REST. Okay. Don't REST means REST design model. Okay. So the full form is representational state transfer. RE from coming from representational, and S and T is coming from state and transfer. Okay. So if you see representational state transfer, okay, if you have heard the definition of this SOAP here, both the same only. Okay. SOAP is also doing something like some transfer of exchange of information, right? From client to server and server to client. Okay, it is given by this name only. Represents state transfer. Okay, something represent, you are representing some data and all, right? That is generally called a state, right? And you are simply transferring from server to client to server and server to client. That's all. There's nothing. SOAP and is both the same thing. Both is allowing you to establish or exchange the information between client and server. Okay, it supports JSON, XML, HTML, and other master formatted. So it is more option, right? Means if you are developing a framework, you cannot say that you need to only use Excel sheet because my framework only supports Excel. Okay, that is not a good framework. But if a framework supports XML, PDF, and a Word for what do you call that? The properties file, YAML file, JSON file, database, right? Means your framework good because you are providing a lot of functionality. Same thing here. This supports XML, JSON, HTML, other message formats as well. Okay, it supports various HTTP methods also like get, head, post, put, patch, delete, connect, option, trace. Okay, it supports a lot. Okay, architectural constraints. Okay, what is constraint actually? If you would have heard this word constraint, so in SQL, right, we put the constraint on that. ID should be a primary constraint, means ID, whatever column we define as um, primary, that must have one value and that should not be duplicate, right? That we put some constraint. So REST also defines some constraints, okay, which helps you to develop the API well. Okay, that's why they name it architecture constraint, means how you should develop it. Okay, how you should develop it. That is REST here. That is a constraint provided by REST here. But those are not mandatory to follow. Okay, those things are optional. Means I will give you some advice. It's up to you whether you follow it or not. Okay, then fast performance reliable. This is because this is compared to SOAP, it is really the performance better. It is faster than SOAP, and it's not like it's not secure at all. Okay, it is also secure compared to SOAP. It is secure, but this API is also secure. Okay, and more than 70% APIs are developed using REST. Okay, That's why whatever, if you are going to any new project, you'll find REST APIs only. Even the banking projects are also using REST APIs nowadays. Okay. So let me go to the last slide. That is REST, SOAP versus REST. Okay. So I hope you must have got ideas and you can understand the difference now. Okay. So what is SOAP? SOAP is a protocol. Protocol means set of rules. You need to satisfy all the rules, right? That's why they are protocol. By the definition also, they consist of what a protocol, simple object access protocol, right? So SOAP is a protocol, so it becomes standard. Okay, means if you want to go for graduation, you need to complete your what do you call that, 10th and 12th, right? Then only you can go for education. You cannot directly jump from standard fifth to college. Same thing here. That is standard. But this is architecture style. It says that you should follow this and that. Okay. There's no official standard for it. Okay. So use of HTTP is not mandatory. Okay. But in this, you need to use the HTTP because communication needs to happen on HTTP only. But SOAP can use other protocols as well. Okay, which I have shown you here. Right? It supports SMTP, TCP, UDP also. Okay, but REST only supports HTTP. Okay, supports XML we have seen, but REST supports JSON, XML, HTML, etc. Supports only PostGrid we have seen, but this supports wide range of HTTP methods. SOAP is slower. Why? Because it is complex and more security and more standard. But REST is faster compared to SOAP. And then we have SOAP is more secure because they have security mechanism there, algorithm there in SOAP, which is not present today. But that doesn't mean that this is not secure. Okay, this is also secure. Okay, good for distributed enterprise environments. Okay, if you have large this thing, okay, large application and it is distributed loads, then you can go for SOAP. And good for point to point communication means directly. Okay, caching is not easy caching, so it's like normal things. Caching means when you store some data, like when you are browsing something, right? So there's really some caching data which helps you to load the same browser again faster. Okay, so it's stateless but can be stateful, and complete stateless. So I will explain this state, what is state, in some time when I will explain the rest constant. But yeah, any question do you have in this topic? Rakesh asked me, can you list on few constant used in this? Yeah, I will explain. Just I showed you just the difference. The next topic is only that one, constant only. Okay, so let me complete this one. So rest, so I was asking, didn't get the caching concept here. See, I will explain this now. Don't worry. Okay, so in rest architecture constant, there are actually 6 constant they provide you. Okay, so I will start from uniform interface. Okay, uniform interface. I have just defined one format, right? Format helps you to understand something better. Okay, so we know what is resource also. Suppose it is Google, right? Google.com. Okay, okay, Google.com. See the URL. What is Google.com here? Let me copy this URL. Let me copy this URL and paste in Notepad++. Okay, this is the URL. Let me open Gmail, or let me open News, Google News. Okay, so this is the news, and okay, let me open Google Map. Okay, if you see here, so if you see the first UI, this will land you on the home page, search home page. But if you open this URL, right, news.google.com, you'll see the Google News, right? If you open www.google.com/maps, then you'll get to the Google Maps, right? These means these are the something URL or something address. If you go to this particular address, you'll find this one, because in an apartment there are multiple flats, right? But every flat will be numbered there. Okay, and if you go to something some flat number, you'll find some specific people there. Similarly, here google.com search, Google search homepage will go same thing, some different URLs for the news, some different URL for maps, right? So they are something uniform resources. Okay, so here we see the one term called uniform interface. Okay, that means whatever you are developing using REST API follows some uniform interface. Okay, so that anyone can easily understand. Okay, this particular URL related to maps, this particular URL related to news. Okay, and this related to that one. So it will be helpful for anyone to understand your API. Okay, so yesterday we have seen the Yatra, right? In Yatra, they have consumed the Indigo APIs, right? For that, Yatra need to understand some like how Indigo have developed their APIs, right? The Indigo also followed some uniform interface so that Yatra people can easily integrate with their application. Okay, if they have developed one API, they can easily develop it. Okay, one second. Yeah, sorry. Okay. So where I was like uniform interface. Okay, uniform interface means whoever is consuming your API or whoever is using your API, they should easily able to understand that one. Okay, for that you need to follow one uniform interface. Okay, another is called client server. Client server architecture we must have heard from college itself, right? Browser is a client, and when you type some URL, we get the data from, like suppose if you type the URL of Facebook, we get the data from Facebook, right? Means from client you are requesting something, right? That is called client server architecture. Okay, so here by the meaning of client server architecture means your server and client will be independent here. Okay, means it doesn't mean that if server is down, your client will be also down. If the client is down, server will also be down. No, if one client is down, you can use another client, right? Same thing here. So when you follow client server architecture means client server should be independent. Both should not be interdependent. Okay. If you, suppose if the client is under maintenance, the server is under maintenance, it should not impact others. Okay. So that is what client server architecture here. Okay. Now comes to statelessness. Okay. Vertical statelessness. So let me use the extract the term state here. Okay. So if you see this particular URL here, okay, so this part is generally called URL. Okay, this is called URL. News.google.com, that is URL. Okay, and if you see here, top storage. Okay, if you see here, I'm in India, and if I'm in India, so if I open the Google News, right? Google News, automatically Google News will be open for India. Okay, it's for India, correct? You can see that. Mhm. Yes, we can see this India. If you are sitting in Bangladesh or you're sitting in US or UK, right, you'll see their news, right? Because Google will not show India news to UK people or US people. Okay, they will say, load their top stories. Okay, and you can see the one word here, top stories. That is this one. Okay, if I click on for you, so I need to log in. So something it will change here, right? And then we have something HL. Okay, it's a language here. This is top stream is what news I want to see. Okay, and this is ENIN means English. It is English. Okay, and this particular attribute saying that the user requesting Indian news in English. Okay, which is default language. Okay, and you can always change the language from somewhere, right? So I think from here, if I go and change like Australia, okay, Australia English, click on update. Okay, can you see the URL change now? Okay, so can you see everything changed, but here I hyphen IN English, Indian English. Okay, here we have Australian English, AU. Okay, same thing here also. Okay, so I don't know what is the difference between different English there, but yeah, that is the thing. And you can see this has changed. They are showing the Australian news, not the Indian news now, right? Correct. And you can see the countries also changed. Okay. So this is called state. Okay. Suppose if I go and update the new news, Google News again. Okay. So it is showing me the Indian news only. Okay, it's showing me the India news. In the previous tab, I open in Australia, but when I search again, it shows me Indian news, right? That means it didn't store the data. It means didn't store my data like I want to see my Australia news or Indian news. Okay, so that is called statelessness here. Means when you are requesting, when the REST APIs are requesting something from server, server will not store any data of yours. Okay, every time you need to request freshly. If I want to again open Indian news here, then I need to go and select explicitly Australian news. Okay, so this TPI will also not store any data on server of yours. That is called statelessness. Okay, there will no state will be stored. Okay, now come to cacheability. Cache, we have must have heard cache, and sometimes application is not working in your system, but somewhere it is working in another system. Then we say clear the cache and it will work, right? What is cache? Means suppose you are okay. So might suppose you are looking for some product on a e-commerce site, okay? And after some time, if you open any social media, generally you see those ads. Okay, you have just viewed this particular product. How they are working? Because of this cache. Okay, because they have stored something there, and they're using that cache only to show you some results. Okay, if you are searching for some shoes and you didn't like any, but if you're using in social media, you'll see some shoe pics. Okay, some offers. That is possible because of cacheability only. Okay, so this APIs also can cache some data on client side, but that is again implicitly or explicitly. That is not mandatory that you need to cache the data only, cache the data at client side. Okay, whenever we're talking about statelessness, that is related to server. But when we're talking about the cacheability, that is related to client. Okay, another one layered systems. Okay, layered systems. Okay, So what is layered system? So before that, let me give one real-time example. Suppose if suppose a critical release is there, okay, and you have some around six resources. Okay, so what generally you do? You divide the task, load balance. You do load balancing. Same thing here. One API can help take the help from multiple APIs to complete a task. Okay, and that can be layered here. That can be layered the multiple systems. One API can directly hit to the server, or one API will give some details to some API, and that API will go to server. Okay, so that is done to make it more secure for the load balancing and for the quicker performance. Okay, so that is layered system. Okay, so generally we have heard the things like some bank is down in particular city, a particular this one, but other city, other place it is working. Why? Because they have also some distributed systems. One system is down, but others are working. Okay, they need to support. That is layered system here. And the last thing, code on demand. Okay, code on demand means like suppose if you are using Zoom or maybe you have used something go to meeting, right? When you're joining, then when you click on join, so some exe file will be downloaded, right? And then you click on that exe file, then you'll able to join the meeting. So that is called code on demand. If something, if there's some requirement where some code will be downloaded in client machine and then from there it can execute, so that can be also possible through code on demand. Okay, so these are the architecture constraints and these are the basic things. And when we actually work more on this everything, then we'll get more clear idea, because this is pure theory and theory will not be completely understandable until unless you do the practical. Okay, since we're not developing our APIs, if you develop the APIs, then you'll get this thing more clear. Okay, but while testing also will get some exposure of these things. Okay, so just shoot your questions again. Let me see, there are so many questions again. Where we were saying that can we say Yatra is a client and Indigo as a server? Okay, so what actually happens in Yatra.com? We give the details, right? And those details will go to Yatra server. Okay, and server, that server will will send some data to this Indigo or AirSA or whatever we have. Okay, so it's like multiple way communication. From Yatra, I am entering the detail in Yatra. Yatra, it going to Yatra server. The Yatra server is connecting to Indigo server or somewhere. Okay, so this way it is working. Raj is asking, can you show some automation demo? So we have not covered API testing, how to do manual testing, and why you want to directly jump on automation. You cannot be a perfect automation tester if you don't know something to test manually. So keep patience. I will cover the manual testing, then I will go for automation. Okay. So Wilf is asking, can you explain uniform interface again? Okay. So uh, we everyone must have gone to schools, right? So in the schools they follow one uniform, right? So if they are what do you call that? If they are wearing some blue pant and white shirt, right? Then they belong to this ABC school. If someone is wearing some pink shirt, they belong to some XYZ school. How they are defining some based on some uniform, right? All the students of that particular school will wear the same uniform. Same thing applies in rest also. Whatever API you are developing, follow one uniform interface so that it can be easily understandable by anyone. So that is the simple meaning of uniform interface. Okay, maps.google.com means if you want to go for any location search or location direction, anything, go for this particular URL. Okay, you don't need to go to news.google.com to go and search for maps. No, right? You can directly identify it. Okay, so how we use the race assured. So I don't know why we are directly jumping to race assured when we are covering only the basics. If you know the basic concept, then you need to wait because I cannot escape the other people and can directly show you the race assured demo. Okay, so this will be the batch where you need to where I will cover from basics to advanced. I will directly not jump to any race assured that concept. Okay. Can you do automation testing in Postman? Yes, we can do. I will show you that. How can you do automation testing in Postman? Satish is asking while attending your session, can we attend API automation interview? See, I will suggest you to complete the course, practice it for 15 days, 20 days, then start attending the interviews. Then you get the ideas also. Okay, because you need to be prepared well. Don't go for the interviews when you are half baked. Right? It will not help you. Okay, complete the course, practice it more, ask more doubts, solve more problems, then go for the interviews. Pragya is asking, cache can be browser cache, so how it will be related to API? Why cache cannot be for the APIs and all? Okay, like suppose when you go for billing in a city mart, right? And as soon as you give your mobile number, all the data are coming there, right? So they also store some data. So cache is possible everywhere. It's not only browser related thing. Cache can be anywhere. Even when you type something, right? Some word, automatically some words are coming, right? If suppose you are using iOS or Android, so automatically whatever words you are using, it may be your Hindi or any native language. Okay, some words are coming automatically there because that's also based on they are also caching your things, what you are choosing and what else you are using. Okay, based on that also they give you those details. Okay. How can we clear API interviews? Okay, this is really tough question, and I don't know really to answer this question when you have attended just two demo classes. Okay, then what was the next topic? Yeah, so we'll start from Postman now. Okay, and we'll show you that what are the example APIs we are going to use, and then we'll do install the Postman. I will show you what is Postman, how to install it, basic idea about it, and how can we go for it. Right. So Postman from basic to advanced concept will be covered. Uh, I think it will should go for 3 weeks, and then we'll start with the research load. Okay. What is the duration of this course? What is the duration of this course? Okay, why three times same question? Duration will be 2 to 2.5 months. Okay. And actually, in these first two classes, I have taken many queries in between, right? But from the next classes, I will take the query only at the end because it will disturb the flow and as well as it will disturb other people also. So from next time, we'll keep the dedicated time 10 to 15 minutes only for the queries. And you can always ask, you can always send a mail, you can always ping, okay, if you have any doubt. So you may not get the instant reply, but yeah, sure. Whenever I will be free, I'll reply for sure. What is the next class and what is the timing? So next class will be on next Saturday and Sunday, and the timing will be 8 to 10 a.m. IST, Indian Standard Time. Okay. What is the fees for this course? I hope that whenever you are resting, you must have seen the fees. Okay. If not, then you need to contact with Rahul Arora. Okay. Yeah, no, there will be no more demo classes, and that's it. And It is 8 to 10 a.m. IST. AM IST. So you need to convert into your time zone and check the timing. For US people, it will be in the night. Okay, for your night. I think Australian people cannot join because that will be midnight for them. Satish is asking what is your contact number. So once you register for the course, you'll get automatically. Everything, whatever phone number, email ID, everything you'll get once you register for the course for the next classes. Okay, automatically you'll get you and you will be added into WhatsApp group where you can go and ask your queries. There will be many people who can help you. If I go through your recording videos and have questions, then send out an email and you reply it. You can WhatsApp me, you can send out a mail, you can call me also if I am available. See, it's up to you. Like, if you have any doubt, how can you get it cleared? Okay. There are so many medium which you can connect with me. Even you can connect with Rahul, or you can connect with some other trainers as well. Okay. So it's not like that you need to only wait for someone to be free. You can ask your doubt in your WhatsApp group also. Okay. So yes, the postman essay will cover from basic to advanced. Don't worry about that. Okay. API certification, I think Rahul provides some certification, so we were to confirm with him. You can ask him also if he provides any certification or not. Whoever want to be unmuted. Yes, Baba, you can speak up.
Hey Amod, hi. So I still not get that first point. Like
That will
you
be
are
taken by
saying,
me only because
no,
this
no,
is which
uh,
I am taking.
no. I'm talking about the first point, the client servers
Will you
architecture.
share PPT? Yes, of course. If you are a registered user, then everything will be shared. With the Git repo, everything will be shared. Do we need to learn some JavaScript for Postman automation? I will cover some basics of Postman, don't worry. Will any topic be left related to API testing course after this training? Okay, this is a good question. See, we are covering a lot, okay, but there are always things which are uh, means left, right, or which are because everything cannot be covered. There are so many things in API. If only these things you go and read more about this, whatever we have covered in these two classes. Okay, everything you can establish a relation. Okay, so whenever you are taking the training, means we are giving you one platform from where you can easily excel. Well, because your basics and some advanced concepts are not clear, then how can you excel? How can you write the code? Okay, suppose if you learn the Java collection, no one will teach you everything, right? But you need to go and explore the methods, you need to go and explore by the examples, okay, what you are adding, whatever you're removing, everything. So we'll give you solid background, solid platform from where you can easily learn any concept. Okay, wherever we are not audible.
Am I audible now?
Yes, recording will be uploaded soon, don't worry about that. Are you provided the interview questions also related to API automation? Many are focused only on automation world, but yeah, whatever I just today also I have discussed some interview questions like what is CRUD operations, then rest constraint, difference between SOAP and REST. Okay, these are the famous interview questions. Okay, and this is mostly asked. So you can always take a note. Whenever I say that these are the interview questions, make a note. And I hope that everyone makes a note also. They are not simply listening to me. You need to make your notes as well. Okay. Is there any discount in course fee? That see, I am not doing this course fee and all. I am just trainer here. You need to talk to Rahul only, and he manage everything. These things. Okay. So, do you have any other questions, or we are done for the today? And from next class, we'll start the instruction of postman and everything. Why I'm not able to hear you then? 1 second. Audio is connected both. Gavi, can you speak now?
Hello, am I audible now? Hello.
I can't hear you actually. Need we disconnect and connect again? Can you speak now? Okay, then I think there's some problem with the speaker only. Sound check. Can you type your speaker? I can't hear you actually. There's some problems, I think. Sound check is well for me. Weber, can you type here only in chat? I will see what is the problem there. Which framework will use and which coding language is here? We are going to use modular driven framework. Will you understand what is modular driven framework now? Well, I don't know why these questions are coming repeatedly when I am saying that we need to start from basics, right? Framework will be covered well, which will be used generally used in industries, and it will be very clear. From scratch, we'll develop a framework. Okay, and framework depends upon how much you are good in relationship concept. You cannot directly go and create the framework. Okay, if you're thinking that you can start learning framework without learning the concept, then you are wrong. Okay, if you don't know how to click or don't know how to send keys, then you cannot create a framework. Framework is not like creating a main project or adding reporting, and all those things are not only framework. For creating a better framework, you need to be very good in basics. Okay, so those things will be covered, so don't worry about that. I'm asking on the same client server architect, it's not clear. So, what is client server architecture? In the common term, like we open a browser, and using that browser, we access any website, right? Means browser is a client, and we are asking some data from server like Facebook. When I load the Facebook URL, so Facebook server will send us data to our browser. In that Facebook homepage or Facebook login page or create an account page, we will load it. Okay, so that's way client server works. If you go to any shop, right, you ask for something, then you are a client. Okay, and the shopkeeper will provide you something, whatever you have asked. Okay, so that is again client server. Okay, so in IT terms, whoever is requesting for some data, that is client, and whoever is providing the data or providing a service to you, that is server. Okay, we go to some like we say that environments are down or servers are down, right? That thing only. So that is client server architecture. When we hit any API, it will go to some server or go to some endpoint or go to some place where he will find some data. Okay, that is server. Okay, so that is client server relationship. Okay, one API will request something from server, and server will return you some data to the client. That is client server architecture or client server mechanism. Okay, it's very simple. Like we just see, right? When we are creating a Gmail account and we type some username, one API was hit. That API hits the server or some endpoint where that server has the already registered usernames, right? From that server, we'll check, okay, this new name is coming, whether I have this username or not. If yes, I have, then show the error message. If not, then create the account. So this data will come from server only. Okay, in the network console, from there it asks, okay, so my that browser is the client here. Okay, and the server which gives you the information, that is server actually. Okay, REST API with Cucumber framework. Okay, so what I'm thinking that let me start with the REST SSO directly. I think you people are already knows all the API basic concepts. If you are fine, then let me know that I can start directly REST SSO framework only. Can we have next session on go to meeting? So I need to see if there are already some meetings are there, then I think we cannot use. But if yes, if we don't have, then I will just check with the Rahul. Okay, but I will keep this in mind because even I am facing some problem here. I can't hear other people. Don't know why here. Okay. So again, one question automation framework. Okay, so I will not reply to that question. Okay, so guys, any other question? Apart from automation framework, directly don't jump to a framework. We need to be basics in Java, basics of API first. Okay, if you don't know how one API works or what are the common format, how to pass the JSON data, XML data, how to pass and all, so there is no meaning of learning the framework directly. Okay, can we use Postman for automation? Yes, we can use, but that is not that much in advance. But yeah, Postman is a very good tool for the quick API testing and quick health checkup as well. What is the best URL for learning API basics? Okay, best URL. See, once you get the training first, you will get the proper ideas. Then you go and explore because there's so many websites which are providing you information. But when your basics are strong, when you read those things, you'll understand. Okay, that's why. Um, because there are already courses available on Udemy and there are many other things available, but you'll not get that much clarity there. But when you get the training first and then go for some Udemy courses and all, then you'll understand more. That's how it works. Okay. Thanks. And if you want to read some more about API, you can go to my blog, that is makesenimg.com, and I have posted so many tutorials there. Also, you can read about that. Okay. So let's stop now, and I will meet next Saturday, sharp at 8 to 10 a.m. by state. So timing will be like 1 hour 90 minutes to 120 minutes. Okay. Okay. So thank you everyone. We'll meet tomorrow. Let's see. Uh, you'll get the Rahul will share all the details with you. Okay. I think, but for the next class, you need to be registered and you need to pay. Then you can attend the next classes. Okay. Till that, bye, and let's see you all in the next session. Okay. Bye bye.